it's 80-20, would they eat meat products, for example, that you have to cook just after 4?
I no, I wouldn't. They really don't eat raw. Follows a vegetarian diet,
Okay,
but I think the 80-20 rule is utilized more with people that do the raw food diet because
okay,
vegetarians do cook their food. So
gotcha.
vegetarians already do a combination of cooked and raw.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
And I've seen the 80-20 rule applied to just a basic diet where people say, well, I eat healthy 80% of the time, but on Sunday I'm going to go have pizza, and that's their window of 20%.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, it with as far as vegetarian and vegan and raw, it's more often seen with raw.
Before we move on, real quick, we do have a question. It's kind of a comment. It refers back to the paleo diet that Lynn asked about. She said, depending on who you talk to about paleo, they do say you can eat dairy products, but they really emphasize that it should be grass-fed dairy, and it should also be with lactose fermentation products like kefir, and I'm assuming yogurt and those type of things. I've heard that also, and I think it is depending on who you talk to or depending on what book you buy about paleo. Um, any thoughts on dairy as far as what it should be? Is you already mentioned it should be grass-fed, and I agree with that. How about getting into the raw dairy? Do you go along that line, or what have you seen in your practice with raw dairy, like raw cheese or even raw milk?
I've had people do the raw cheese. I think there's still some controversy on the raw milk. I personally don't eat dairy, so I haven't tried the raw products. I think you have to know your source for sure. I do know at the farmers market that I go to, there's a goat farmer there that has raw goat milk. So I think, really knowing where it's coming from is what you want to go
Great.
for.
I
And
agree.
you're right about the paleo. I mean, I think when it first came out, it was really rigid and strict as far as the no dairy, but now I think people are kind of making it their own in some ways, and some people are eating some dairy, and again, the emphasis is on the quality of what you're eating for sure.
Yeah, and the other